Is that the reason why you turned up late today?
Today I didn't play tennis.
Hi all, welcome to the Plaeto Pod, where we'll be discussing how we made the perfect pitch for Rahul Dravid. So, how did Rahul Dravid come on board and how did you get introduced to him?
Me and an ex-colleague of ours, we'd gone to meet the promoters of a large sports management facility, sports promotion facility in Bangalore, and with which Rahul Dravid is associated. And as we were talking to the gentleman, he said, "Why don't you guys speak to Rahul?" And it occurred to us that Rahul Dravid is perhaps the most credible face that you can have in India, and especially when you want to engage with parents, school administrators to talk about foot health. We couldn't have had a better choice than Rahul Dravid. So we were lucky to land a deal with him, and then over the last 4 years he's been an integral part of Plaeto's success, and he's deeply involved in helping us, not just in terms of engaging with parents and schools, and also helping us through his network of schools.
So everyone knows Rahul Dravid as a man of such high integrity, and he's probably one of the nicest people you can meet. So when we explained the story of Plaeto to him, he was just going to take over as the India coach, and we had to shoot something before he left. But that is Rahul Dravid for you. He just did all the work that he had to do for us. So it's just a great testimony to what he is as an individual, the amount of trust he puts in you.
What was your experience pitching Plaeto to Rahul Dravid for the first time?
Well, that came very naturally because it goes back to why, as Ravi mentioned, we are here to serve a purpose. So that was a story from the heart. So from that perspective, we just told the story from the heart, and that resonated very strongly with him because he's a father of 2 boys, and he also faced the problems that a growing school child faces in terms of not getting good school shoes. And a lot of parents in India probably don't pay attention to it. I mean, when it comes to a school shoe, they think about every other aspect of the body, be it the nutrition, the overall health of the child and so on. But when it comes to school shoes, parents think my child is going to grow out of them, and so why buy an expensive one and get them something which is cheaper that can be changed in the next 6 months. And that is where Dravid came in to tell our Plaeto story. I mean, why foot health, why a parent or a child, him or herself, should pay as much attention to the shoes that they are wearing to school, because they spend about 2,500 kilometers running, jumping, walking in school shoes. That's equivalent to about 59 marathons. So that's the story that Dravid brought out with the credibility that he has, and that resonated very well with him.
No, I remember that meeting we had. Most of the time was spent on explaining the mission and the values with which we are starting Plaeto, and less about the business opportunity. And one interesting story he was telling us was what Pavan was talking to, when he used to travel or tour England playing for India, and then he would go out into department stores looking for black shoes for his own kids going to school. And he said, I couldn't find good ones in India, and I didn't want them to wear big brands to school because of this need for keeping the uniformity. So he was also a concerned parent, and that was something that resonated with him when we spoke about the need to change and bring good school footwear. So everyone knows Rahul Dravid as a man of such high integrity, and he's probably one of the nicest people you can meet.
What is his role at Plaeto, and how has he taught us to play, and how has he been the wall for you guys?
He's also part of a program that we built called Plaeto Pioneers, which is where we bring in the PE leaders from across our partner schools for a one-day workshop. So the PE teachers go through a day of enriching sessions by child psychologists, sports psychologists, and we also bring in a celebrity to engage with them to talk about the pressures of play while growing up, and that's where Rahul Dravid contributed a lot one towards building that content for Plaeto Pioneers program, and also whenever his schedule permits, participate in those to engage with the PE leaders, which is very inspiring and directional for PE teachers in motivating children in their respective schools to balance the rigors of academics and the desire to play and discover the joy. So he's been instrumental in helping us shape that program.
Just to add to what Pavan said on this Plaeto Pioneers thing, what we observe is that there's very little play time for children in schools. They're probably 1 hour or maybe 2 slots of 45 minutes during the week. Our objective was very simple. Can we make it the best time of their day? Not in terms of just physical activity, but their engagement with the rest of the classmates. How can we get boys and girls to play together? We're not trying to make anyone represent India in Olympics in that 45 minutes. We just want them to have fun and then go back thinking that, hey, I've had a great day. That was the objective. And the engagement with the PE teachers was about sensitizing them to how it can be done. So how do you bring psychologists and explain to them why it is that 45 minutes could be an important part of their life. And that was something that is a mission that is important for us. We've probably done, we trained 400 teachers in the last year and a half, and I think there are thousands more we can impact through this program.
How active were you during the PE classes in school? What all sports did you play and which were you worst at?
Back in the day, growing up, we really look forward to PE class, right? And most PE teachers, besides the first 5-10 minutes of basic drill, they said go play what you want, and we really enjoyed that. Favorite sports, cricket of course is every Indian's favorite for that matter. While you grow up, you play. But even Kho-Kho, Kabaddi, I remember being pretty good. I made it to the school team in Kho-Kho, Kabaddi and volleyball and so on. So yeah, PE was something that we all look forward to.
What about you, Ravi?
So I used to play cricket and football for the school team, and I think I did manage to reach the state level in cricket. But more than that, I have an interesting story about play. In fact, 2 interesting stories about play. One is related to shoes specifically, because I was told that you cannot get a second shoe. So I would remove the shoes and go and play football with a small ball, and every other week I would stub the toe against a stone and lose the nail. I remember that because the shoes was more important than anything, your own toe, and that's what the story of a lot of children going to school. You want to play, but you're not allowed to because you have to save the shoe. So that actually helped while designing the shoe itself. You will find a feature on the shoe which allows you to go and kick a stone and still not damage your toe. That is one. Second thing is, I remember while I was playing at school, I would come back from school at 3:30, and at 4 o'clock I would take the cycle and go 10 kilometers to play with friends. Every day it was like a ritual, and those friends are the ones who still remain closest to me. 4 to 6 we would play and then fight and then go back home and then study. So if you remember that time, you realize the best friendships are made on the playground and not in any other way.
I still play. Play tennis every morning, and the joy that I derive out of that 1 hour of play is pure. Right? There's nothing else that comes in. And a good part of the reason why I also turn up every morning to play tennis, like Ravi said, is you make great friends and some of the lasting relationships from the playground, and I go through that day in, day out during my tennis sessions.
Is that the reason I turned up late today?
Today I didn't play tennis.